This video is going to briefly introduce the idea of co-teaching and the 6 co-teaching strategies that we are going to use here at Charleston Southern University. So co-teaching is defined as 2 teachers, the cooperating teacher and the teacher candidate, working together with groups of students, sharing the planning, organization, delivery, and assessment of instruction, as well as the physical space. Both teachers are actively involved and engaged in all aspects of instruction with co-teaching. Co-teaching requires several things. It requires the cooperating teacher and teacher candidate to co-plan, to then also co-teach in the classroom, and finally co-assess. You have to work as a team for co-teaching to be successful. And it starts with co-planning and ends with the co-assessing of your students. So we at Charleston Southern are using 6 different strategies of co-teaching. The first strategy is called One Teach, One Observe. And in this strategy, one teacher has the primary responsibility while the other gathers specific observational information on students or the other teacher. The key to this strategy is to focus the observation. Where the teacher is doing the observation is observing specific behaviors. So when one teacher is up there teaching, the other one is looking at possibly questioning strategies, calling on students, movement around the classroom. So the observing teacher is taking notes and then they'll discuss it afterwards and they can share their findings and create a better environment. The second strategy is One Teach, One Assist. This is an extension of the One Teach, One Observe, but in this instance, one teacher has primary instructional responsibility, while the other teacher assists students with their work, monitors behaviors, or corrects assignments. So one teacher is up front leading the instruction, and the other person is walking around and helping individual students or small groups of students either answer questions, making sure they're on track, things like that. So you're walking around the classroom, interacting with the students while the other teacher is up there teaching. Station teaching is the third strategy. The co-teaching pair divides the instructional content into parts. Each teacher instructs one of the groups. Groups then rotate or spend a designated amount of time at each station. There's often an independent station alongside with the 2 teacher-led stations. So one teacher might lead a station where students play a money math game, and the other teacher would have a mock store where the students purchase items and make change. So there's different content being shared at each station, so you have to make sure that there's time for students to get to all the different stations. The fourth strategy is parallel teaching. Each teacher instructs half of the class or part of the class. The 2 teachers are addressing the same instructional material and presenting the material using the same teaching strategies. So they're doing the same exact thing. The greatest benefit to this approach is the reduction of student to teacher ratio. So both teachers are going to be leading a question and answer discussion on a specific current event and the impact they have on our economy. But instead of having a discussion with one teacher and 30 students, you're now working with one teacher and 15 students, and your other teacher is working with 15 students as well. So it really helps to individualize some of the instruction. The next strategy is differentiated teaching. This strategy allows one teacher to work with students at their expected grade level, while the other teacher works with those students who need information and/or material either retaught, extended, or remediated. The learning outcome is the same for all the students, but the avenue of getting there is different. So one teacher may be working with students who need reteaching or enrichment of the concept, while the other teacher works with the rest of the students. The sixth strategy is team teaching. This is probably one of the more difficult ones, but a well-planned team-taught lesson exhibits an invisible flow of instruction with no prescribed division of authority. Both of you are up there teaching and leading different parts of the lesson. So using a team teaching strategies, both teachers are actively involved in the teaching of the lesson. From a student's perspective, there is no clearly defined leader, as both teachers share the instruction and are free to interject information and available to assist students and answer questions. So both teachers can share the reading of a story or a text so that the students are hearing two different voices, would be an example of team teaching. Please realize that this is not a hierarchy of strategies. They're all different strategies that work at different points in time. You may use one strategy one day, a different strategy another day. You may combine a couple different strategies in one lesson, but there is no hierarchy. So try them all out, see what happens. The last aspect of co-teaching that we really want you to participate in, both the cooperating teacher and the teacher candidate, is the co-teaching journal. You're going to be required to do this both in your methods classes and also during your clinical practice. It's a way to talk to each other, to ask questions, to voice concerns, but sometimes when you're both up there teaching, you're not able to do that right away. So the journal is going to be a way to kind of communicate back and forth doing this. Get used to doing this during the fall semester, and in the spring it will become really easy and second nature for you to be able to share thoughts back and forth between the two teachers.